All right, so are you ready to dig in?
Always.
Perfect. Because today we're taking a deep dive into Virgo and Capricorn compatibility.
Ooh, fascinating.
Right. It's going to be good. I think there are going to be some surprising insights about this Earth sign pairing.
Like what?
Well, okay, this detail in the source material really surprised me.
Okay.
It said that Virgo and Capricorn have the potential for a seriously great, even great sexual connection.
Wow, okay.
But then it goes on and describes them as stiff and strict in matters of the bedroom.
That is interesting.
Right. So help me square that. How does that add up?
Well, you see, what's so interesting here is that this apparent contradiction actually reveals a core truth about Virgo and Capricorn.
And what's that?
Both signs crave authenticity. Intimacy for them isn't about, fleeting passion. It's about truly seeing and being seen by their partner.
Deep.
Yes, exactly. It's that depth of connection, that vulnerability that makes the experience so powerful for them.
So it's less about fireworks and more about slow, steady burning embers. Is that a good way to say?
Yes, exactly. You got it. It's about building that trust and security, which takes time. And these are earth signs. They value reliability, consistency above all else. Once that foundation is established, though, look out, they can really let go and explore their desires.
Right, I see. Yeah, makes sense. And actually, the source even mentions Virgo's willingness to experiment, especially with a trustworthy partner like Capricorn.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's like that initial stiffness
Yeah.
melts away when they feel safe and secure.
Yeah, and that tracks because Capricorn's inherent trustworthiness, which the source highlights, is incredibly appealing to Virgo. In a world that can feel unpredictable, knowing they have a partner who's always there for them, who's in it for the long haul, is incredibly reassuring.
It's like they found that rock in the storm, that sense of stability that allows them to weather any challenge together.
A rock in the storm. I like that.
Right. Speaking of weathering challenges, the source also mentions their communication style might seem a little dry to outsiders.
Really?
Yeah, but why would these two actually enjoy that? Is it all business all the time?
Not at all. No way. It's about quality over quantity with these two. Think about it this way. You're at a party, and you overhear a conversation that sounds incredibly boring, just facts and figures, right?
Yeah.
But as you listen closer, you realize they're actually dissecting some complex philosophical concept.
Oh, wow. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's Virgo and Capricorn's communication style in a nutshell.
Wow, fascinating. So they're not afraid to dive deep, even if it means skipping the small talk.
Exactly.
I can totally see them bonding over a documentary about ancient civilizations or something.
Totally.
Or even just getting lost in a conversation about the meaning of life.
Yes, exactly. They find joy in those intellectual pursuits, in unraveling mysteries and making sense of the world around them.
Right.
And that shared curiosity extends to their emotional lives as well.
Okay, so that's interesting because both Virgo and Capricorn often get labeled as unemotional. But the source suggests there's more to it than meets the eye, right?
Absolutely. It's not that they lack emotions, it's how they process and express them that's different.
Okay, so how do they do that?
Think of it like this. Virgo is the meticulous gardener, carefully tending to their emotions, analyzing each bud and bloom.
Interesting.
Capricorn, on the other hand, is like the architect, building a fortress of logic around their feelings.
Wow, so they approach their inner worlds with the same thoughtfulness and intention they bring to, everything else.
Exactly.
I can see how that might lead to a deep, if not always outwardly demonstrative connection.
Right. They understand each other's need for emotional security, that sense of being grounded and supported. And as they build trust, they encourage each other to open up and explore those deeper emotional landscapes.
Oh, I like that. It's just like they're uncovering a hidden treasure together, layer by layer.
Yeah.
Speaking of treasures, the source also points out their shared love for museums.
Museums, yeah.
Okay, museum dates, deep conversations, so far so good, right? But what about the potential clashes? No relationship is perfect, right?
You're absolutely right. Even with all this earth sign synergy, there's always room for friction.
For sure.
And one potential sticking point the source highlights is Capricorn's ambition. They're driven to succeed, to climb that mountain of achievement. Virgo, while ambitious in their own right, might not share that same relentless drive.
So it's like Capricorn is setting their sights on conquering Everest, while Virgo is perfectly content exploring the foothills, maybe meticulously documenting the local flora and fauna.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. And while both approaches have their merits, it's important for Capricorn to recognize that Virgo's ambitions might manifest differently. They might find fulfillment in mastering a skill, refining a craft, or making a tangible difference in their community.
Right, so it's about appreciating those different expressions of success, right?
Ah.
Not measuring everything by the same yardstick.
Exactly. And for Virgo, it's about communicating their own needs and aspirations, making sure they don't get lost in Capricorn's pursuit of the summit.
So open and honest communication is key, as it is with any relationship.
Always.
But something tells me these two might need a gentle nudge to express their feelings directly. They seem like it might default to, well, practicality.
You're spot on, and that's where the beauty of this pairing comes in. As they challenge and inspire each other, they also learn to embrace those softer, more vulnerable aspects of themselves.
I see.
Virgo encourages Capricorn to connect with their intuition and appreciate the beauty of imperfection, while Capricorn helps Virgo step out of their head and into their heart.
It's like they each hold a key to unlocking hidden depths in the other.
Yeah, exactly.
And that kind of growth can be incredibly rewarding, even if it comes with its share of bumps along the way.
For sure.
Speaking of bumps, we've talked a lot about the positives, but the source does mention some potential downsides.
Right, like what?
For example, Virgo's meticulous nature, while admirable, can sometimes tip into, well, let's just call it particularity.
Okay, yeah.
And Capricorn's ambition can lead them down a workaholic rabbit hole.
Right.
So could these tendencies create friction?
Absolutely.
How so?
Imagine this. Capricorn is laser focused on a big presentation at work, pulling late night spreadsheets everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Virgo, meanwhile, is meticulously organizing the spice rack, alphabetized, of course.
Of course.
Both are in their element, right?
Right.
But there's a potential disconnect brewing.
Because while alphabetized spices are undeniably impressive,
Totally.
they might not be top of mind when you're trying to close that deal.
Exactly. And that's where resentment can creep in. Capricorn might see Virgo as sweating the small stuff, while Virgo might feel overlooked and underappreciated. It's that classic speaking different love languages dilemma.
Oh, totally. So how do they bridge that gap? It sounds like they need to find a way to honor their individual needs while still nurturing the relationship.
Precisely. It's about conscious effort and compromise. Capricorn can make an effort to appreciate Virgo's attentiveness to detail, recognizing that it comes from a place of love and care. And Virgo can support Capricorn's ambitions while setting clear boundaries to ensure they're not neglected in the process.
So it's like scheduling in quality time.
Yes.
Maybe even some of those museum dates we talked about earlier.
Exactly. It's about creating rituals that reinforce their connection, whether it's a weekly coffee date, a shared hobby, or simply setting aside time for distraction-free conversation.
I love that. It sounds like the key takeaway here is that while Virgo and Capricorn have incredible potential for a deeply fulfilling relationship, it takes work, just like any pairing.
For sure.
They need to approach their differences with curiosity and a willingness to understand each other's perspectives.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself. This deep dive has highlighted the many facets of Virgo and Capricorn compatibility, the surprising depths, the potential challenges, and the importance of mindful communication and compromise. Remember, though, these are just starting points. Every individual is unique, and astrology is just one lens through which to view the complex tapestry of human relationships.
So true. Use this information as a springboard for exploration, for sparking conversations, and for deepening your understanding of your own unique dynamic. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating journey into the world of Virgo and Capricorn compatibility. Until next time, keep those minds curious and those conversations flowing.